This is Wayne S. Pierce for the American Liberty Radio Network on this 22nd of July 2017. It's the weekend, folks. Yes, it is. The music you're hearing is from Topher Moore and Alex Alina, called Stalling. Alrighty, 22nd of July 2017, this is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Go check that out as well. Still working or trying to get the main page more appropriate for informational purposes. So, yes. So how are you on this 22nd day of July, 2017? Lots going on. We have Charles Manson being paroled in Connecticut. We have O.J. Simpson being paroled in Nevada. I gotta say, I just have to say this, neither one of them should be out of prison. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. But, as I said on my previous podcast from yesterday, regarding the O.J. Simpson 1994-95 trial and all of that and his, subsequent acquittal, with all the information that is out there to the general public, I don't believe he did it, even though he has a violent streak in him. Because if you go back and you listen to, I forgot to mention this yesterday, but if you listen to the 911 calls from, Nicole Brown Simpson, his ex-wife, you can see that violent streak. But I don't, I'm going to say with the information provided by the mainstream propaganda media of that time in 94, 95, and everything that is released to the general public, not the stuff they're not releasing, but the stuff that each and every day from that time, it just shows me that either he had an excellent team of lawyers that got him off and he got away with murder, or he didn't do it. I'm leaning to the end of that. I don't, something just doesn't feel right about it. Something, and of course, with additional information, if I can find it and if somebody can show it to me, including the investigative, techniques and what Mark Furman found, the lead detective on the case, and all of this. And even Mark Furman himself said that the information, there's more evidence showing that he did it that they didn't even bring into the courtroom. And that's what he said. So, with all of the information, additional information, I will change my mind. Because that's how things work. You look at something such as, Charles Manson is being paroled. He's going to Connecticut. And he, from what I could tell from the information I have researching that many years ago, was the fact that he never lifted a hand against anyone to kill anyone. He may have robbed people. He may have beat people up. He may have, wound up in jail for a reason when he was younger. But did he kill anyone? Did he actually did he actually do the act of murder? No. From the information that has been released to the general public, no. Was he a cult leader? Was he, manipulating minds into having, Squeaky Fromm and all these other people go into the hills of Hollywood and kill those people that they did? I don't know how. I was going to say 2 or 3. I don't know. There were more than that, I'm sure. But I don't want to give you inaccurate information. Did he manipulate people into doing that? Yes. Should he have spent the rest of his life in jail for it? No. But did he commit an act of violence leading to murder himself? I from the information provided to the general public by the media of that time, I don't think so. But again, our minds change with additional information. We don't flip-flop as people do. We're not hypocritical. No, we just don't have all the information. And therefore, for someone to say, well, this is it, blah, blah, blah. No, you cannot be that accurate. And I said it before and I'll say it again. No one is completely wrong and no one is completely right. You give me all of the information. I'll assess it. I'll draw my own conclusions on it. That's why I encourage you folks to go out and do your own homework. It's that simple. I don't see a reason. I don't see a reason why a person needs to say, this is the most accurate and factual information. I do the same thing. I catch myself saying, this is it. This proves it. Well, excuse me. I may have overlooked something. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm wrong. I may not have all the information provided to me by the, folks in the mainstream propaganda media or the indoctrination centers of America called schools and colleges. So my view is, give me all of the information. Let me pick through it. Let me assess the information that is there. Let me draw my own conclusion. And if there's additional information, please give that to me. That's what I'm saying. And we all should be saying that. All of us should be saying that. And it's not like we're right all the time. We may think we're right all the time, but we're not. And how many times have you turned around and had to apologize to someone because you were wrong about something? How many times have you come back to someone and said, that information I shared with you before, I was a little off on that? How many times have you done that? I mean, it takes someone with a good character and good morals to be able to do that. Okay? I know this. I've been down that road with people. I've had to apologize myself to people because of the fact that there have been many, many times that I've looked at the information that I've had and questioned even the most accurate of information. And I've later on found additional information that would back not only what I've found, but also the fact that I overlooked something. There's new information. Cool. I was looking for something on my Facebook page, but I will go to American Liberty Radio Podcast for additional information. and I've been putting stuff up there today. Big Pharma now peddles psych drugs to toddlers. Over 1 million currently drugged for profit. Let's just end Big Pharma. Let me tell you something right now. Compare natural home remedies, your grandma's remedies, right, with Big Pharma. Over 90% of all the pills that you go into a pharmacy and look how much stuff is behind the counter on the shelves. Over 90% of that is chemically based bullcrap. For one pill that is designed to fight one disorder or a problem or disease or an illness, there are on average 7 to 12 side effects to every single pill. I could be overlooking the statistics, but why do you want that poison in your body? Why do you want that poison in your body? Again, I may have overlooked some information. Additional information is needed, I'm sure. But why do you, I mean, all the evidence is there. You can go look at it yourself. Big Pharma is in it for the profit. And that's over at newstarget.com. I will put this on American Liberty Radio podcast. As if Big Pharma didn't already do enough damage to the adults in this country, now children as young as 18 months are being prescribed all kinds of drugs and sadly are also suffering the side effects. At that age, folks, your body is not immune from the outside world or anything that comes to it. You know, it's already been shown that if children play out and get dirty and get muddy and do all that, it builds up your immune system. So what you have to do between the ages of, the time the child is born and at least 3 to 5 years old, don't give them any Big Pharma medication. Do grandma's home remedies, and yeah, you're going to be just fine. Trust me. Because I know I've watched mothers literally get so adamant about no vaccines that their children have been just fine. I've seen that myself. Okay? How come the Amish don't get autism? How come the Amish don't get really, bad diseases in them? Because they don't get vaccinated. It's against their religion, quote unquote. And the government doesn't come in to make them change things. Oh, just watch, and they'll probably will, but the Amish don't get sick much. Okay? Seriously. Okay? They must be doing something right. You know what I'm saying? Continuing on with the story of Andrew Rios exemplifies corruption in the medical field to a perfect T. At least 5-month-old, Andrew began experiencing seizures when he was old enough, quote unquote. At just a mere 18 months, his neurologist prescribed felbamate, an epilepsy drug. The drug led to immediate shocking side effects. Though he was just a toddler, Andrew became disturbingly violent, which eventually led to the prescription of another drug. Instead of taking him off of the felbamate, an antipsychotic drug known as Risperdal, yeah, that was it, was prescribed. It's used in adults to treat a variety of mental illnesses such as bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Mind Freedom reports that there is currently a petition for the FDA to revoke the drug's approval for children due to the host of adverse side effects. This is going up on American Liberty Radio podcast for all of you to see. Again, it goes back to, or actually it's on there already. This proves once and for all that Big Pharma does not serve the interest of the people. Okay? At all. Ever. And never will. You are concerned in your neighborhood about drug dealers and drug pushers and all of this and, all these drugs in your inner cities. The biggest drug dealers we have in America are big pharma. Period. That's it. I said it. What are you going to do about it? I just don't. I don't. In my opinion, from my perspective, this is what I see. Number one, people don't care. And I say that, and I make a blanket statement like that because of the fact that people always say, well, politics and religion, that should be kept private. Nobody should talk about that. Well, if we don't talk about it, how are we going to get beyond the problems and find the solutions that we need for America? Just a thought there, right? If we don't talk about politics and we don't reveal what is going on and show the faults of the mainstream media, show the adverse effects of what mainstream propaganda media is doing to the general viewing public or general listening public, then how are we going to change things? How are we going to change things if we don't talk about this stuff? What, you just want to talk about baseball? Okay, how are the San Francisco Giants doing? Okay, how's the Seattle Mariners doing? What? Oh yeah, I mean, if I was talking sports for a half hour, my God, I'd have a lot of. I mean, I'm listened to all over the world, but I'd have a hell of a lot more listeners. Oh yeah, I know that. So why don't I do that? Because this is more important. I'll go here. And I don't want people to get sidetracked with the mainstream propaganda media dishing out their bullcrap. An eyewitness to mass extermination of Christians in the Middle East tells all. That's on American Liberty Radio Podcast. Okay? Christians, wake your asses up now. I've spent almost 20 years in various churches. Okay? And I can tell you this much right now. If you want to be passive and tolerant of everyone around you, you are going to come to a very violent demise. I'm telling you that right now because, and if you don't think I have something to back that statement up with, how about checking out history throughout the Middle East, throughout third world countries, in regards to Christianity? Well, it's God's purpose that... No, it's not. You've been brainwashed into believing that if you lay down your life for a cause, that you'll be, in some way, quote unquote, martyred. Does that sound familiar? Instead of 72 virgins, you'll be getting your own mansion? Does that sound familiar? I mean, think about it. What happened in history when Christians were attacked? They rounded up the troops and defeated their enemy. Well, with God's help. No, with their own intestinal fortitude to survive. Okay? I'm just letting you know. Somewhere down the line, in the last 100 years, Christianity has been pussified and wussified into, just staying out of the mainstream. Yeah, we can't do that anymore. People, in general, can't do that anymore. All right? You just can't. You just can't. It's amazing to me that people want to sit back and watch this whole country fall apart and not even lift a finger to try to defend it. Now, I could be wrong and I could have overlooked something. I'm okay with that. Somebody better show me some information because I'm going to stick to that thought. I'll go here. Let me change the avenue on which I'm on. Labor Department whistleblower agency officials intentionally denied or delayed payouts to nuclear workers in hopes they would die. Government attorney who raised red flags says Perez, other Obama officials ignored his complaints about hostility towards nuclear worker claims. Since I just read that, I'm going to put that up on American Liberty Radio podcast. It's interesting to note that I find that certain people, certain groups of people, will always support something that aligns and benefits their own agenda. Isn't that true with everybody? Someone might ask. Not really. When you see all of the things that are happening behind the scenes, and you realize I chuckle because all of it's just a freaking sham and a scam perpetrated upon you to benefit the elites. Somebody somewhere is not paying attention. This is what's happening, folks. This is what's happening. From the Hill, Alicia Cohn from the Hill, 22nd of July 2017. Trump, Mueller, and Sessions should investigate Clinton's ties to Russia. Quote, why isn't the AG or special counsel looking at the mini Hillary Clinton or Comey crimes, unquote. President Trump on Saturday tried to redirect the Russian investigation to his former Democratic rival Hillary Clinton. Several Trump officials and members of his campaign are under investigation for alleged collusion with Russia during Moscow's attempt to influence the 2016 presidential election, which never happened. There's already evidence proving that never happened. According to Trump, there are just as many questions about Clinton's Russia ties, deleted emails, and business connections. In the same series of tweets, the president also brought up former FBI Director James Comey, who Trump fired earlier this year. Trump has suggested Comey has suspicious allegiances. In other words, he's a traitor? I don't know, man. So I'm going to put that up. It says read more, and there's a video involved. So I'm going to put that up on American Liberty Radio podcast. How do you like my voice? Yes. This is what happens when you wake up with a plugged nose and sinus just giving you hell all night. But anyway, whoops. Clicked off on the wrong page, man. Anyway, let me go. Let me just just let me go here. If you like American Liberty Radio Network, if you like to hear what the truth and the facts truly are, and again, I may have overlooked a few things. I could be wrong in some situations, and not all of the information is available to me. You know. But if you like American Liberty Radio Network, consider supporting it. Yeah. Drop $1 into Kitty. Go to AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Go to the sponsors page And you'll see all of the information right there if you want to advertise on the network. Also, at the bottom of that, there's 2 links right there. Become a patron. You can drop $1 into Kitty to help us keep the lights on around here. Or you can donate through PayPal. Same thing. We got to keep us, I got to be caffeinated doing this, and I got to keep the lights on. So, hey. So, anywho, also, if you want to contribute, but you don't have resources to do so, all you got to do is like and share the page at American Liberty Radio Podcast. Let others know what's going on. You can do that too. But I can't go much longer. I'm telling you, it's coming down to the bare wire here in the next 2 months, because it's starting to be honest with you, I'm being completely transparent. It's starting to, wreck my resources, as it were. I'm depleting the finances. It's just one of those things, folks. I'm looking at about maybe, probably October to make some decisions. The network is changing, and certain things will still be available, but this program and the general, part of American Liberty Radio Network is not going to be around. So I've got to, around October, August, September, I'm going to be looking at some options, but then around October, I'm going to make some really probably hard decisions, harder than I thought that I would have to make in the last 7 years. But it just really comes down to that. And it's just, we all make hard decisions in life. You like your job and you've been there for, 10, 15 years, but then another opportunity for a job comes up with more money, and obviously you got to think about it. And what's to think about? You know what I mean? So in that type of frame of mind, I either got to shut it down or keep it going. And that's the only 2 options I got. But there are going to be things that are going to be available. It's just not going to be American Liberty Radio Network. So just got to deal with some of the things coming up, and see what happens, I'm not rolling the dice at all right now. I'm just assessing these things coming up in, September, August, September. I gotta look at all these things. I just gotta weigh it all out, see what I can do. I'm being totally honest with you, folks. That's why I don't push as hard on the advertising or the donations or the contributions, because, I'm good now, but I could be better. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking, like I said before, looking to upgrade some equipment, looking to remodel the studio. Like I said, some other things are still going to be in place, but not American Liberty Radio Network. It's just one of those things. Certain things are going to have to go, And you guys do it too in your own life. You got to make a decision on certain things. If you like this, if you like that, which one do you want? Some of the things you got to let go of. So just something to think about. So if you want to contribute, great. If you don't, share the show, and go from there. So it's what I got to do, So I'm looking at some stuff, and I'm telling you, I'm being totally transparent here. Looking at like August, September, looking at some stuff, and I'll make my assessment then. And around October, I'll make my decision. So want to contribute? I would really like advertisers on my network. That would be a win-win situation for you. I got people listening to me all over the world. I got 16,000 followers on Spreaker. I've got Facebook. I've got Twitter. I've got Gab.ai. You guys that get your information out there, to a lot of people, and I'm not out to break your advertising budget. You go look at the sponsors page at AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. And yeah, What? Yeah. I'm just going to let you assess the situation. Well, geez, well, no, I'm not begging for money. I'm just telling you what the options are. That's all. Your bank gives you options. You can have this checking account with this interest rate, or you can just have a basic checking account where we charge you to keep your money. I mean, there are a bunch of options out there, folks. So think about it, consider it, do what you need to do, assess the situation and go from there. Am I giving you enough information, or am I giving you my time and effort in all my research and all of the information that I share with you? Is that enough to contribute? I don't know. You got to assess that on your own. There you go. So anyway, folks, I promote a whole lot of people, which I'm going to do here in about 2 seconds, but those are promotions. Those are, it's shout outs to people, basically, is what it is. So I'll be back in 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Don't go away. This is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com.
Late Night in the Midlands is an alternative media that covers the truth, theory, and fact that the lamestream media won't talk about. We cover everything from the known and the unknown, the normal and the paranormal, the government lies and the government ties, and even their thrive. We tell what's coming, what's going, whether it be politics or archaeologists. We have an amazing fan base, and our shows are all archived to be heard millions of times more. So tell your friends, your family, and anybody you care about LateNightInTheMidlands.com. Become a member and be informed.
Growing up terrestrial radio, the future is here. Destroying the liberal media one truth bomb at a time. Independent media is shattering the liberal national security media into a million pieces. Their views of the world are based on the script the government gives them. Independent media seeks out and finds the truth and reports on what is truly going on behind the scenes. Support the truth and facts. Support independent media. Sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Lots of things going on, folks, for this 12th of July, 2017. How are you? Welcome back to the show. Lots of things going on. Holy crap. We have, O.J. Simpson being paroled. Charles Manson being paroled. We have another death of a Hollywood icon. At the age of 72, Mr. John Hurd, he was in Home Alone. And just lots of things going on. Now the prevailing thought in the death of Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington is that they were both murdered because they had information pertaining to all of everything going on in Hollywood and all of that. So check into that as well. But, yeah, lots of things going on, folks. You know, lots of things going on. Such as your freedom and liberty to walk your neighbor's dog. What? Yeah, check this out. New York Daily News. Is that like the National Enquirer? I don't know. New York City law that makes dog sitting illegal without kennel license triggers rage from pet lovers. Well, it better. Health Department has warned a popular pet sitting app that its users are breaking the law. Pet lovers are barking mad over a little-known city rule that makes dog sitting illegal in New York. Health Department rules ban anyone from taking money to care for an animal outside a licensed kennel, and the department has warned a popular pet-sitting app that its users are breaking the law. Quote, "The laws are antiquated," unquote, said Chad Bacon, 29, a dog sitter in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, with the app Rover. Quote, "You're qualified and able to provide service. I don't think you should be penalized," unquote. Bacon, a former zookeeper and wildlife researcher, signed up for the app to help make ends meet while he was between jobs, but did enough business that he now makes his living from it full time. It says read more, so. I said it before and I'll say it again, folks. New York City has just, well, they've been flushed down the proverbial toilet. They're done. They're a communist state under Cuomo and whatever the hell New York city mayor is. Yeah, so they're done. They're a communist state. That's the way it is. You live in New York, I don't care. You better understand what your politics is and what these people believe in New York State, specifically New York City, and you better start looking at alternatives. New York State is now a communist state, as well as California. So anyway, Illinois is closing up on up on third place on that list. Washington State is getting very close to doing that. Nevada is definitely tied for third place on that list of communist states on this continent we call the North America. So, yeah, I just, and here's the corrupt judicial system at work, or should I say the law enforcement, arena. Fox News, of all places, is reporting this. Baltimore police officer mistakenly records himself with body cam planting drugs at crime scene. Baltimore police officer Richard Pinheiro seen planting bag of pills in a tin can while other officers look on. And there's a video for it. The video from January arrest is from a body camera of Baltimore police officer Richard Pinheiro, who is seen planting a bag of pills in a tin can while two other officers look on. The footage was evidence in a case that was scheduled for last week, but prosecutors wound up dropping the case after being contacted by a public defender who was reviewing the footage in preparation for court. Baltimore's Office of the Public Defender is now demanding that dozens of cases where Pinheiro and his two colleagues were the arresting officers be dropped by the prosecutor's office. Yeah, there's read more and a video, so I'm going to put that on American Liberty Radio Podcast. If you need voiceover work done, please contact me. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. Yeah, I can do it. Especially when I have that morning voice and haven't had my coffee yet. Hey, man. Yeah, I'm not having black coffee this morning because I usually do in the morning. And then I go out later on in the day and have that foo-foo stuff. No, I'm having the foo-foo stuff now. Yeah, the caramel flavored coffee. It's pretty good. I popped it into my Keurig, and it's pretty good, man. Big thing in Nevada happening with the political prisoners we have in Pahrump in Nevada. Pete Santilli, independent journalist, is there as well from Guerrilla Media Network. He's in prison for doing his job. Yeah, that's all. He should not even be in prison. You know what I'm saying? He didn't elicit or incite any riots or anything in Mulhare in Oregon or in Bundy Ranch back in 2014. He didn't. He's reporting on what was happening. He's an independent journalist, and he's in prison. That tells you where America is going. And I can tell you straight, right now, it's going straight in the toilet. Why Trump and the Republicans must get on a fence, Omar Navarro for Congress. Now more than ever, the GOP needs to fight back against major push from the left. This is an interesting story. And it's a video, so I'm going to let you go assess the story for yourself. This has nothing to do with Nevada, but I'm just saying we have political prisoners in Nevada that have to be released, period, end of sentence. It's just the way it is. We have to push the courts. We, the people, have to push the courts in Nevada to totally acquit everyone in those cases pending right now in Nevada. We, the people, have to push for that, okay? Because that is an injustice perpetrated by the left who don't want anyone to have any freedom. And when I say the left, I'm talking, well, let's just call them for what they are. The Progressive Party of America, which is the leftists in the Democratic Party, the leftists in the Republican Party, the Democratic Socialist, and the Republican Fascist. That's the Progressive Party. They don't want anyone to have peace, freedom, liberty, and security in this nation. That's the bottom line. I don't really give one freaking rip what anybody has to say against it. The evidence stacks up against the left in that regard. Deep State broadens Russia collusion, quote unquote, attack on to include Tillerson and ExxonMobil. Sorry, I had to sneeze. I hate that. I've only done that once in my 7 years of being on air. That's the second time. Sorry. Deep State broadens Russia collusion attack to include Tillerson and ExxonMobil. Treasury fines ExxonMobil $2 million for violating Ukraine sanctions while Secretary of State Tillerson headed the company. What? Conflict of interest there in the Ukraine? You know, I'm just saying. Washington, D.C., Thursday, 20th of July. Key elements of the deep state, specifically bureaucrats yet loyal to President Obama, deeply entrenched in the Treasury Department, levied a $2 million fine on ExxonMobil, accusing the company of violating Ukraine-related sanctions. Get this. 3131 CFR Part 589. During Secretary of State Rex Tillerson's tenure as chairman and CEO of the company. This history would suggest that Obama loyalist deep state actors within the Treasury Department have decided to target all Trump administration officials with business ties to Russia, trying to find some violation of the law or regulations that can keep alive the Democratic Party's relentless 6-month drumbeat, alleging the Trump campaign alluded with Russia to rig the 2016 election in Trump's favor. Going on American Liberty Radio podcast. There you go. It's there. Go check it out. You assess. You draw your own conclusions. Here's something, and I've been to Canada, been to Ontario, Canada, been to Parry Sound, Ontario, Canada specifically, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place up there. But their government is so freaking stupid. Well, it's backed by the Queen. Yeah, the Queen of England can come into Canada and shut it all down if she wants. Did you know that? The Queen of England can come into the White House, tell Mr. Trump to move his ass and sit behind the desk in the Oval Office and sit there and tell every single one in that room they're going to do what she wants. You don't believe me? Connect the dots, connect the people, connect the money, connect all of that together, and you'll find that everything goes right back to the Queen. It's called the Act of 1871. Go look that one up, too. President Ulysses S. Grant signed that into law in 1871. Go check it out. Connect the dots and, follow the money. I mean, that's what I say. Canada is like, I love how it looks, but your government is really screwed, folks. Toronto man builds park stairs for $550. Irking City after $65,000 estimate. City had an estimated $65,000 to $150,000 price tag for the job. A Toronto man builds park stairs for $550. The city estimated it was going to cost them $65,000 to $150,000. You people are stupid. I'm talking directly to the prime minister up there. Right to the city people, right to the county, to the province in which you live and all of that. You people are frickin' stupid. I don't know where that $65,000 or $150,000 estimate came from, but somebody's making a whole lot of money, and it sure isn't the person that just came up and built the stairs for $550. Call it a donation and end your day. But guess what? They tore it down. A Toronto man who spent $550 building a set of stairs in his community park says he has no regrets, despite the city's insistence that he should have waited for a $65,000 city project to handle the problem. The city is now threatening to tear down the stairs because they were not built to regulation standards. This is from the 20th of July, 2017, CTV News. Retired mechanic Eddie Astle, there we go, ASTL. Sorry, Eddie. Says he took it upon himself to build the stairs after several neighbors fell down the steep path to a community garden in Tom Riley Park I don't know. It's in Ontario, city in Ontario. He says his neighbors chipped in on the project, which only ended up costing $550. A far cry from the $65,000 to $150,000 price tag the city had estimated for the job. Let me look at that word, estimate. It means, let's go to my go-to site for definitions of words. I will tell you exactly what dictionary.com says estimate is. And their definition of it is, it's a verb with object to form an approximate judgment or opinion regarding the worth. Verb without object to make an estimate. Noun, an approximate judgment or calculation as a value, amount, time, size, or weight of something. Let me tell you what estimate means in layman's terms. They guessed. It's a big, massive freaking guess. We don't know. It may cost $65,000 to $150,000. We don't know. We're guessing. Quote, I thought they were talking about an escalator, unquote. Astle told CTV News Channel on Wednesday. He says he hired a homeless person to help him and built the 8 steps in a matter of hours, which it would have taken city officials about a week to build. I'm not kidding you. This is going up, says read more, so this is going up on American Liberty Radio podcast. Okay. Call it a donation and leave it at that. And let people enjoy the new steps into the garden. Okay? But you people are so freaking stupid that you're not going to allow that. Yeah, I said it. What are you going to do? What are you, email me and send me some nasty email and say, you're dumb. I don't care. Go ahead. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. I don't care. I'll just delete the crap. There's a video. Was Hatch Act violated by Post Office Democratic collusion? Postal workers were allowed to take unpaid leave for political purposes. In a move straight out of Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals, the Clintons blame their enemies for things that they themselves are doing. But are the American people finally getting sick and tired of hearing about non-existent Russian collusion? There's a video, folks. Draw your own conclusion on it. There you go. You know? It gets to the point where I'm showing you all this stuff. I'm telling you all this stuff. And when I walk out in downtown Billings, when I'm walking out there, Billings, Montana here, when I'm walking and, going around to different places and going to stores and going grocery shopping and all that, you know what? I honestly see people with that 1,000-mile stare. And if you talk to them about any of this stuff that's going on, they'll just look at you. And they'll say, hey, where's the donut, man? I got to go find some food. I am at the point where, I'm going to say this, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll reiterate it in some way, shape, or form sometime later as well. But as of the 22nd of July, 2017, I really don't care what people say anymore in regards to and in response to what I say. I really don't. You go about your business. Just go ahead, live your delusional lives, and separate yourself from the reality of what's going on, and continue to make guesses and claims that people like me are conspiracy theorists and all that, and make claims unfounded with any facts or truth that things are just fine. Continue to do that. Go play softball. Go take your kids to the zoo, which is okay because the kids have to get out of the house. It's okay. It's fine. But, yeah, just keep believing your mainstream propaganda media, and, just continue to do that because obviously you don't care. So when you start making claims against me and against the things that I do and against, people like Rush Limbaugh or Alex Jones or myself or Brian Lang or Nick Tucker, you just go ahead. Believe your mainstream propaganda media. You just go ahead. I said this on my personal Facebook page, and you can comment if you'd like at Wayne S. Pierce on Facebook. Anyone who even believes the mainstream propaganda media and their fake news bullcrap when they talk about the Trump-Russia collusion is dumber than crap. I'm done. Out of 260 plus friends I have on my page, I think I can lose a few and not be sad about it. There's the door. Bye. Have a nice day. And here's what I wanted to talk about earlier, and I mentioned their names. Chester Bennington was about to expose the truth behind Chris Cornell's death. Linkin Park singer was going to reveal information about his friend when he died. This came from the 21st of July, 2017, from Neon Nettle. Jay Greenberg over there talks about this. As the world mourns the death of Linkin Park singer Chester Bennington, the circumstances surrounding his death are shrouded in suspicion. His death was ruled as a suicide by police after he was found hanging at his home in Palos Verdes near L.A. on Thursday morning, despite the lack of toxicology report or an official Los Angeles County coroner's verdict. Mr. Bennington's death strikes more than a passing resemblance to the death of his close friend Chris Cornell, who shocked the world when he tragically passed away May 17th of this year. Both men were found hanging on the back of a door, and both deaths were prematurely ruled as a suicide by police. Bennington was also found dead on what would have been Chris Cornell's 53rd birthday. It's sad. It's really, really sad. But, I mean, who is that? Corey Feldman and Elijah Wood both have talked about nefarious things happening in Hollywood. You know, pedophilia, all of that. They've talked about that. So why are we sitting here accepting the mainstream propaganda media of Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington's death when there's no evidence? You know, the office and the media prematurely say, oh, they died by suicide, by hanging. When there was no evidence, when there was nothing that could have shown that they were in this type of mental state. Nothing. There's no evidence at all. There's nothing. It's just premature statements pertaining to their deaths. And the mainstream media went with that, and now everybody accepts it, or some people accept it, others are questioning it. So we need to question everything, folks. Question everything. And let me also put it this way. If it is found that the mainstream propaganda media is in collusion with law enforcement and big government, we need to shut them down immediately. Immediately. CNN has lost viewers. MSNBC has lost viewers. Fox is losing viewers left and right. They're all going slowly into the grave. And if some have colluded with law enforcement and other high elites up there, you know, managing everything and controlling everything, we the people need to forcibly shut down all mainstream propaganda media. Period. End of sentence. All of it. Or we need to heavily fine each and every station for peddling fake news. How's that? Is that less harsh? I also said on my personal Facebook page, Wayne S. Pierce on Facebook, there's a lot of people claiming that broadcasters like Alex Jones and Rush Limbaugh and Michael Savage are full of crap. Well, I make no apologies for saying this, but those people saying that are completely full of crap themselves. They have nothing to back up what they are saying and have absolutely no proof whatsoever they are even close to being accurate in their claims. This is just one of the reasons I don't listen to critics or anyone else or anyone that bashes anyone else. To all those that slam the ones I've mentioned, it's clear to me that you're the ones that are full of crap. So there you go. Maybe, just maybe, just maybe, at some point, somebody may get the clue. I know there are millions of you out there that already have the clue and understand what's going on and have already prepared yourself for the onslaught of criticism you're about to get. Guess what? I applaud you. Big virtual high five to you folks. But the rest of you, dumber than shit. That's just the way it is. I'm done with you. Go about your business. There's the door. Bye. Have a nice day. This is American Liberty Radio Network. Please contribute if you can. Please advertise on the network if you can. I'm not out to break your advertising budget. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Go to the sponsors page. All of the information is right there. And 2 buttons to donate to American Liberty Radio Network. On that note, I am out of here. American Liberty Radio Network. Sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.